Not necessarily Bulla and such. Anyway, folks, an international assessment of Jamaican 15-year-olds in reading, math, science has confirmed recent damning findings on the local education system, highlighting how far behind students are compared with some other countries. Joining us this morning, Opposition Senator Damion Crawford, to talk more about this. You know he's very passionate about this topic, especially if it comes to math, which is his baby. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good to see you. Happy New Year. We haven't seen you in a while.
Same to you.
Any surprises out of this?
No. This is just another report that has reflected what other reports have reflected. Don't forget that of the 35,000 people who have been in 11th grade, we have been averaging less than 22%, 5 subjects, including math and English. And that's for the last 9 to 10 years. So it is just another indicator. In fact, the World Bank, the UNESCO study said a Jamaican student would have lost about 13% of what they should have gained based on the type of system that we offer. So it's just another study suggesting the truth.
I'm not an educator, Senator, but I still can't figure out why you can get to first form and second form. You can't read.
Well,
so
part of it is
that happen?
Infrastructure constraint is one of the major contributors because you have another 35,000 coming up to take your space. So if you don't have excess infrastructure so that you can repeat a cohort, then you're going to have to transition that cohort along the conveyor belt. So if the government have 35,000 12-year-olds and only have 35,000 spots, at the point that you need to retain 1,000 because they have not attained what is necessary, you'll now have 36,000 and you only have 35,000 spots. So with the limited infrastructure and the limited creativity, we have been incapable of doing remedial lessons.
And I hate to belabor the point, sir, which means I won't belabor it usually when you say that. But again, you go to grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. How you end up not being able to read? I still don't understand it.
Well, partially is a building block. So if you miss the foundation, it don't mean you can still put on a roof. So if 6th grade is the roof and you never put the foundation, the roof will collapse. So again, it's a lack of creativity because we keep on doing an assessment at the end of the year. Oh, you passed grade 1. Maybe if you pass month 1, there should be a remedial intervention. And things like AI and stuff like that have been allowing us now to be able to grade each student almost every month with a computer exam. So if we wait until you finish a full year, instead of having Saturday classes at the end of month 1 or evening classes at the end of month 1, then now you have to a remedial year instead of a remedial month. And there's a lack of creativity because for some reason we continue to believe that a child must leave school at 3. And that is even injurious to the child because an adult is not home until 6. So we could always extend our school system to have remedial lessons and also environments for study that many people don't have at home.
Yeah, this article that says there's yet to be any robust national discussion on how to address the deficiencies in the education system. I feel like we've been talking and talking and talking,
well, talking
and the needle is not moving.
And discussing is not the same.
As talking and discussing.
Not the same, because discussion is with the intent to find a solution. Talking with the intent to get support. So the government, the opposition, they keep talking, but if you look at the recent study, the report, that has not been tabled in Parliament. Now, how can you have a report that you're saying would be the lead of the national effort in education, but you don't give the rural MP a chance to say, this is what we need, based on my experience. You don't give the inner city MP a chance to say, this is what we need, in my experience. You don't give the people, Ministry of Labour, and the Ministry of Labour an opportunity to say, this is what we need in our experience. So because we keep training people for jobs, and our jobs are not education focused. Most of the jobs that we have, if you're at a hotel, you have one supervisor and 50 people at work as a waitress. So therefore, they're not education focused. So we keep putting out people who, you have a construction site, 90 man a mix cement and 1 man a point with them for carry it. He's the architect. So you keep having the minority being needed to be educated. So that is a major problem.
So we need a major shift.
Yeah, I think this thing can be fixed in 8 years if the funds are provided.
How?
Well, for one, there's methods. We're wasting money now to build 3 STEM schools, and everybody's excited about it. The majority of students that can be in a school is 2,000. So that means that we will have 6,000 total students in the 3 STEM schools. We have the GC Foster model that has been putting out coaches in every nook and cranny because they are now producing trainers. So instead of training students, you should train teachers with this investment and build a big GC Foster for math and English, for math and sciences, so that we can be putting in the gimme bits, in the Tarrants, in the good math teachers. The other problem we have is we need a cultural shift. We need a marketing. Remember, 2 is better than too many change how many children we were having. Most Jamaicans are afraid of mathematics. They think they can't pass it and them think their children inherit it. You need a systematic approach in marketing to change that. And I also think that you need an inverted classroom. We're giving people homework when there's nobody at home to help. Homework should be where the teachers are so that they can help. So homework should be schoolwork. And then the learning process now is going to be taking what you will offer, which is our lecture and tutorials. So now we don't have lectures and tutorials. You have 40 minutes for teach a student, him go home with a mother will drop out in 9th grade. How is she going to help him? So therefore, if we should put in the infrastructure where the entire 11th grade, the entire 10th grade can go to the lecture theater for the math lecture, and then splinter out into classes for their homework segments, where a teacher is there who knows how to help, then that will automatically improve their performance, because practice is the essence of performance. But you don't have time for practice. I used to teach at a school, 53 people in the class with 40 minutes to teach them. They don't have no book, they don't have no geometry set, they don't have no calculator, you don't have a minute a student. And then you still have to take 10 minutes to write the homework or they don't have the book. And you still have to take 5 minutes for them to find a chair. So when you finish, you have 20 minutes to teach. That can't be an effective method.
Wow. And this is right across the board.
Right. Well, you're still going to have the 10, 15 Georges, Casey's champions, that Old Boys Association. But they recommend $8,000 per US dollars per student investment is where the natural improvement is. We're at 1,600. No, US. So remember, you add in the teachers' money, you add in the school's electricity, whatever. So the contribution per student directly, I think, is $17,000 for the year, and that don't. So the vast majority of investment in education is for teacher payment. Now, we wouldn't have accepted security if the vast majority was for police payment and no baton and no gun and nothing else. So if the budget for security was only paying the police and not providing anything else, we'd have said it's an ineffective budget. But the budget for education is mainly teachers and not providing much else. So we still have
no tools.
It looked like when you went to school and when I went to school, the classroom in 2024, where there's a different need and different assets and different necessities. It looked the same way with a blackboard in many cases. Instead of a smart board or even a whiteboard, the investment in changing that has not come into place. But I think if we do the investments and we're creative, we can change that within the next 8 years.
But we're in trouble.
We're in trouble because there's 2 things that everybody in the world chooses to do. Language for communication, every organized society needs communication, and mathematics for logic and problem solving. Every progressive society needs logic and problem solving. If you have an illogical society, they would say scammers make a lot of money because they have a markets, when you have bankers having a Range Rover. So more people should want to be a banker if they were logical than be a scammer, because the average scammer have a cheaper car than the average banker. But because of that illogical process, we will stab a man and not expect to go to jail. Right. So therefore, that is why China, India, countries at war offer math and language, and countries at peace offer math and language, because every country needs that problem-solving training and that communication training.
Your recommendations, no doubt, have been put forward.
On many occasions. But again, and I say Faithful Williams, Minister Williams, she's in a difficult position because education can only be changed by a Prime Minister. It can't be changed by a minister. There's too much sacrifices that we'll have to make.
Explain that.
There's too much sacrifices, decisions that will affect other people. Like, for example, we keep on fixing roads, and if you're going to know to fix schools, it's going to fix less roads. The education minister can't make that decision because the votes are going to come for the roads. The roads is have a pothole this morning and fixed this evening. Education is 9 years and you get voted out in 5. So therefore, it's going to take a person who have the overall decision-making capacity to say that we are going to focus a true budget, because no matter what plans you have, if I say inverted classrooms, I need a lecture theater in every school. Now, I can't get a lecture theater in every school if you only give me enough money to paint the classes.
The more sad part of what we're saying is the notion that the choosing between the education and the road have to be one or the other.
Well,
That's the sad part, because we really should be addressing
in
both.
Jamaica, we have not gotten most of what we need, yet the government still keeps cutting taxes, and we celebrate it. So the government says, I'm going to take less money, but we still want more outcomes. It's impossible. But the government knows electorally less money is going to be, paying less taxes is celebrated instead of getting more spending, getting more outcomes. So we don't have enough water, we don't have enough road, we don't have enough schools, and yet we celebrate less taxes, less taxes, less taxes. That is crazy.
Good to see you, Senator.
Always, always. And the blue and the green, I'm glad it's not black and green.
Says the man in his green jacket.
The purple is represented, man.
Fortis.
Forever.
Oh my gosh.
Opposition Senator, Mr. Damion Crawford.
Go on, man.
Second edition of News in 5 comes up right after
Thank
this.
you.
Stay with us, please. Soon come.
So kind of you.